Is title insurance just a crock? Are title companies just taking advantage of us by charging us extra, unnecessary fees? Let's talk about what title insurance is. The short answer is title insurance insures marketable title.
What the heck is marketable title?
By marketable title simply means that the person selling it actually has full ownership and the right to sell it. Let's go over a simple example of non-marketable title.
Okay.
Grandma and Grandpa own a home as husband and wife, okay? Grandpa passes away. Grandma does a quit claim deed to transfer the property ownership to her son David. When it's time for David to sell it, his name is on the deed and recorded with the county, so all is good, right?
Yeah, sounds lovely.
Actually, no. Grandpa didn't have a will to stipulate who would inherit his half of the house.
Uh-oh.
Right. So Grandma doesn't automatically take ownership of his half just because Grandpa passed away. So David actually only owns half of his home. He can't sell half of a property to a new buyer, so it is not marketable title.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It can be very stressful. There are processes you can go through with the court, like probate, affidavit of succession, quiet title action, to clear the title prior to closing. But if this comes up during a transaction, it's going to cause delays and quite possibly prevent the sale. Most buyers don't want to wait around for this to get cleared. Sometimes months and months of court proceedings will need to occur to clear the title before the property can be sold. Depending on circumstances, this process can be shorter, so don't panic if this happens to you, but always ask your realtor to request early bird title work from the title company prior to listing. The sooner, the better.
Note to self, early bird title work is good.
Here's another one.
Cool.
Let's say before Grandpa passed away, he and Grandma both quitclaimed the property, the deed, to their son David. The deed reads in David's name. Anyone checking the Pima County records would see that David owns it.
Phew.
But hang on. Sometime later, David needs to sell the house. He lists it. He gets a buyer. His buyer, Stephen, is going through the motions of the sale when he gets a call from one day from the title company saying there's a defect in the title. David doesn't actually hold marketable title to the home.
What? Why?
Well, it turns out when the property was given to David, he was married to Susan,
Ah,
even though they're divorced now. Because Arizona is a community property state, Susan actually has a legitimate claim to half of the real
Wow.
property. If David and Susan have an amenable relationship, maybe it's no problem. He can just call her up and have her quitclaim her half of the property to him so he can sell it. But what if she's not reachable or cooperative? What if she demands half of the proceeds? A lawsuit called a quiet title action may be the only way to establish quiet title.
quiet title?
Quiet title just means that the court has quieted any claims that were made on all or any portion of the property.
Okay, but how does the title insurance company help me? It sounds like a whole lot of court stuff.
Well, ultimately, the title company is going to issue an insurance policy that guarantees the buyer marketable title. If somebody were to come lay claim to the property in the future, the insurance company is going to pay out to the person holding the policy for the amount stated on the policy. Of course, they never want to pay out such a claim, so they do all their homework up front to research the history of the property's ownership. It's usually during this underwriting process that defects are found. Once cleared, then they're willing to issue a policy giving that guarantee of marketable title, and a clean sale
get it.
can take place.
That makes sense. But I'm buying a brand new home, so I don't need title insurance, right? Like, nobody's actually ever owned the home before.
Wrong. There are many different types of title defects. Another type of defect is a lien on the property. Certain entities owed monies by the homeowner have a right to place a lien on the property. Here are some types of lien holders. Mortgage lenders, for example. The most common lien holders are the banks and lenders who are owed money when the property sells. HOA is another example. Homeowners associations in Arizona have the right to place a lien on the property when the homeowner hasn't paid their dues or other fees owed to them. And then mechanics, any trade professional who does work on the property and is owed money by the homeowner or the builder can place a lien on the property. So if you're buying a brand new home, assuming the builder even had a valid deed when they bought the land, there can still be other problems. If the builder hasn't paid any one of the trades who built it and the tradesperson places a mechanics lien on the property, the title to that home will not be marketable until those mechanics or tradespersons are paid and all the liens are cleared. Look, this topic could really go on for a good while, but I'm going to stop here.
Phew.
Just know the point is, title insurance is not a crock. It's actually super important. Not only is it required if you need financing for your purchase, but even if you're paying cash, you'll want this policy, unless you want to buy a home and then have somebody come make a legal claim to your property in the future.
Yeah, but what are the chances? I mean, how often does this really happen?
Well, I've personally seen this happen 3 times over the last year or so. The title insurance fees on your closing statement are a small price to pay for assurance that you are actually buying rights to your property. If you are interested in real estate related topics or getting to know the Tucson market, hit subscribe below the video. Hit the bell to be notified each time I release a new video, and hit like to let me know you appreciate the content of this video. Thanks for stopping by today, and I'll see you next time on Living in Tucson.